Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. From the deepest jungles to the outmost reaches of space and beyond the veils of death itself, the Bald and Bonkers boys are back for another episode. It's no secret that you won't know what will happen next, but Dakota Franson and Chris Mole promise that all bets are off. Viewer discretion and straitjackets advised. These two idiots live up to the name.
Wow, what happened there?
Hey,
Show started.
Show started.
Welcome.
Are we here?
Welcome,
Oh, it's looking a little buck-eyed.
Yeah, we're live, guys.
Profile pictures for dating sites.
No, honestly, guys, it's a special treat for everybody in the chat tonight. I have my look at this. I'm just going to say it for all the witchy community. They gave me a potion to massage into my scalp, and I woke up this morning like this.
That's amazing. You took sexy pills or what?
Yeah. Oh no! It's a mystical potion. That you
awesome!
And you wake up in the morning. Aye. No, ladies and gentlemen, I thought I would get a Donald Trump. Like, say everybody loves Donald that much, you know. It's horrifically, and I would like to say this to know. It's horrifically itchy and warm.
You're not covered in Cheeto dust.
Do you know? Genuinely makes me look younger. Do you know it makes me look younger?
It does.
Yeah. Sex offender.
I know it does. It's weird, though, isn't it?
Just admitted it.
He does remind me of somebody.
Justin Bieber. Well, not Justin, but like a rock star.
I know.
Austin Towers.
What do you think, Dots, in the chat? So, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by Papa Joe and Uncle Tim tonight. We had them on the show before, and they were amazing guests. We were going to have Lisa Fry on tonight, but her mum has taken no well, and she's actually getting a what's that? I need to keep her straight face.
Good job, man. Thank you.
Good. What's that?
Oh, that is totally. Where's your British accent, man?
Oh, hello.
Rocket Man, right here.
Rocket Man.
You need some rounder glasses or something.
Yeah,
I've not got rounder glasses. That's the only one. I've got other glasses. They're newer ones that I wear, but they're totally different for these ones. But I'm not getting them now. They look differently. I think I look lovely.
You do.
I could wear this all the time. I'll tell you something new, by the way. It is warm. You could get away with. You could wear this. You could wear this in Alaska. And you wouldn't need a wheelie hat. You know? You look like Smile Dog with glasses.
Careful. You might clap that dog.
That's just for you, Pete. That's just for if Pete's watching this tonight, that's just for you.
Oh, Super Horror Show. What are you doing listening to us live?
Hey, guys.
Live on it
driving
while you're driving. That is not smart, man.
You're driving?
I do look like Elton John, didn't I?
Oh,
I look like Elton John.
Pete. Yes, Chris has joined OnlyFans.
Hey, Pete.
Do you know Pete's always wanting me to be on OnlyFans? He's always sending me messages and getting me to send him like pictures and stuff like that. Terrible, Pete. Terrible. You know, come on, join us, Pete. Come and join us tonight, Pete. I've said,
come on, join us, man.
Come on,
join us. You don't need to show you don't need to put your picture of your face up. You can just talk with us.
Yeah, you do.
You got a resident beaver on here tonight. So. Can you see my face?
We have two beavers.
Justin
Bieber and the Bucky Beaver. It's a beaver show.
Oh my god. It's a beaver show.
I'm not saying anything else.
I'm not going with these.
I like beaver.
Well, I do too.
Dude, you're getting Dakota excited here. Come on, Pete. Saying it's Christmas, Pete.
Say
come
yes,
in for
Pete.
10 minutes. Come in
Yeah,
for
come
10
on,
minutes, Pete.
Come on.
We would love you to come on because it'd be awesome.
No, you want to.
If
come
I
on.
show up, you might get the paranormal crabs. Especially with us here.
I think he's already caught something, Pete.
I don't know. Pete,
I'm sorry for his girlfriend.
You probably came to us. I had a couple of sprays yet before I come on. But look.
No, I'm going with Elton. Thank you, Elton, for having us on tonight.
Elton.
Does my laugh track come through?
Sir Elton.
say it, forget him.
You hear that?
Honestly.
Did you hear that?
I would do.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, we heard.
We do, aye.
All right, we didn't know.
What's your best Elton John's? What's your best Elton John song? Rocket Man.
No,
that's Dakota's.
No,
I'd say Trail We Blaze, but that's
the one
young
where
Hillary Clinton.
The one that Tim McGraw did.
Oh, what was that one?
Tiny Dancer.
That's a good one. That's an early one.
Young
Tiny
Hillary
Dancer.
Clinton.
That was amazing. Or he's my brother.
I like Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting.
Is my brother there? A candle in the wind. Wouldn't you like to light a candle next to this? Because it's 100% Chinese, mate. What's that? Don't and are drinking beer, not tea tonight. Chris is.
Yeah, what is the beer you got there, Chris?
I don't
Philadelphia
drink
Freedom.
I'm drinking
Iron Brew.
Iron Brew.
Pinball Wizard.
It's a Scottish national drink.
Is that Scottish?
It's the Scottish national drink. Yous have got Mountain Dew and Coca-Cola. We've got Iron Brew. This is Scottish.
It's equivalent to Coca-Cola?
Tastes like, yeah. It's the same kind of thing. It's got the same amount of sugar problem, yeah.
So Joey and I got together and we made our own whiskey.
That explains.
That looks nice.
98 proof. I think we had this one time. We did a shot of this on your show.
Oh my God!
I might be too young, but who is Elton John?
Are you serious?
Pete, Pete just said that. Pete, you were probably older than me.
Pete, you go home right now and you download Elton John and you listen to every damn song of his greatest hits.
Pete,
and I want to report back.
Road to El Dorado. Have you not seen the movie The Road to El Dorado? Come on, man. Elton John did the soundtrack for that.
I thought Pete was over 20.
I think Pete's only like 20 or something. I think Pete's just a young thing. He's just a young.
Okay,
just go.
How old is
he? He's got to be over 20. I mean, my kids are 12 and 11, and they know who that is.
That's because you play it.
I play it.
Nope, before my time.
All right, well, go enjoy. Go download some and watch it or listen tonight and tell us what you think. Have an open mind.
That came out when I was like 7, man. Come on, I'm not that old.
That's 70.
He's way aged you, Peter. You're like
77, 76. I was 10 or 11.
What's that? Drummond glasses, purple, yellow, diamond. I don't know. I tell you something new. I'm going to buy a professionally made wig. I think. Make me look.
Dude, I think you ought to just get it done.
Just get some plugs.
Yeah.
No, I mean they got wigs now that they got rugs that just like work. I mean, you're sexy.
I know.
This could boost your show like by 50%.
You'd have to change the name of your show, though. That would be
no
problem.
The sexy one, I could have.
Then I would be bald. He's bonkers. Then.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Bald with bonkers.
Super horror show. What the fuck?
I agree.
Yes, super horror show. Bald and Bonkers wigs will be available in the store soon.
Y'all get pissed at me when I try to do lingerie and you're wanting wigs.
Hey, I wore a beaver.
Wigs. I think we should. There's a lot of people in the UFO and paranormal community that would love a wig like this.
This is a really tight beaver.
You know, that would even better like Green Day. You'd dye that green.
I tell you, after the lot of people say to me about this,
or pink.
The picture out.
Dude, I think you got something going here. Will you please follow up on this? Go down to a rug joint and see if they can't, hook you up with something sexy.
Yeah, do a whole vlog on it. I mean, every step of the way.
And every day have a different color. I mean, I'm telling you. I mean,
I'm telling you.
I see you in a whole different light now.
I know. And it's what's that? Son of the Naked Bigfoot, Pete. Did Elton John do any music for what? Just
Jujutsu Kaisen or Chainsaw Man anime. I think he actually did a couple songs for a couple animes.
Come in, Pete. You know you want to join. I've sent you the
invite. Come on, Pete. Jump on.
Come on. It's Christmas. Come on for 10 minutes.
It's Christmas, man. Jump on.
Come and tell us a spooky. Come and tell us a spooky story.
It's Christmas. Trust me. I tried to bring on the ho-ho-hos, but none of them would come on.
Oh, man.
But I tell you something new, Dakota. If you had a wig like this, they'd be running at your door every day.
No.
Honestly, Dakota actually has a wig like this, you know this. But it's a darker one, is it not?
No, I don't.
I remember you had one with Parachills and that. I remember you wore one on that special show. You look like Brian from...
Brains from Thunderbirds.
There you go, I'm like a puppet.
All right, if you're not celebrating Christmas, celebrate Festivus with us. Air your grievances on the Bald and
For the
Bonkers
rest
show.
of us, huh?
See, at least Joe and Chris here, we dressed up for the occasion. We had dressed up for the occasion. You see,
we did.
We put the effort in, you know.
Yeah, I've got
here, you know. And so did you. That's right, Tim. That's right. Dakota didn't. Dakota could have looked at his wig that he puts on for the ladies, but no, he didn't want to wear it. Not celebrating Christmas this year. Oh, Pete is celebrating Christmas this year.
I have much bigger things going on than fulfilling your male fantasies about me.
Well, look at it now. You take a screenshot. I'll do a pose for you.
No, I'll just get that photo you sent me and send it to local
I would love to take a photo of this and put it in my driving license and get pulled over.
See, that's a nice Christmas card right there.
I know. I know. It's very, very itchy, this, by the way. I mean, it's 100% polyester.
Don't get me started on polyester.
You needed a pandy on your head first. You take a pair of stockings, women's stockings, and put them on your head, and then, yeah. That's how it works.
Oh, God. Come on, Pete. Come on in, and we'll talk spooky stuff, you know? I mean, so how's your out there show going, guys? How's your UFO stuff going? When's your next show? You're doing a Christmas show this year?
I would say stay tuned till next year, once we really get things ramped up. Because
fair enough.
Bring that up, other photo. Bring that up photo. That's that
nice
photo.
That's
the photo.
That's Austin Powers, baby.
Yeah, it looks
baby.
like Austin Powers shit himself.
Dr. Goldfinger.
Dobies, what do you think?
Promise you'll always wear this.
I'm just back, Dobies. That's London in the chat there, by the way. Dobies, I'm just back for China. I got a hair transplant. Sadly, Elton John got ran over by a three-legged donkey. So they managed to save his hair and get to me.
I guess
the season to get run over by a reindeer.
Contemplating putting in butt plugs.
Well, look, you were the one that was going on about that. No, I'll tell you who mentioned that, and he was on the show. Pete's father. Remember Mike going on about that?
Mikey.
Aye, he has a fascination with these things. I don't know. He was a very strange fellow.
Yeah, can't argue with that one.
It's an understatement.
What's it? What's that? What's that you've got there? What's that? Like a handbag you've got or something like that?
I brought a
a
treat for
tin.
Tim and I.
I thought you had a handbag, a pink handbag. Maybe it's just my eyesight going on.
Yeah, I brought a treat for Tim and I. This is
something.
Yeah.
All right, check this out.
This is a $12 bottle of beer. So we're sharing it.
Wow.
But
a $12 bottle of beer?
Yes. $12. It's only it comes out just once a year, and it's amazing. What was the alcohol content? I think it's like 18%.
What did the ABS use on it?
It's 18%, and
18%
is the alcohol. Yes.
18
right,
bits. No, actually,
cool. What are the
I
DPUs?
can't read it. It's too
I seen
dark.
a nice
RFGs.
But it is an IPA. It's 120-minute Dogfish Head IPA.
Mm-hmm.
Joey brought this for me for a surprise for Christmas.
Yes, Dobby. That's my new hairdo. I can play with it. You know, you should get people to play with their long hair. You get jealous of them. Yeah.
Let's just do it, man.
We're gonna do it.
My hair.
No, you should have seen the post pic. You should have seen the post operation pics of this man right here. He even looked more like a dickhead from the swelling.
I know, but it's all right. You next time you can't. I mean, Dakota will only wear a wig, ladies and gentlemen. We couldn't find one for him.
No, some of us are actually busy with our lives.
The show's about to take a different direction.
Oh,
we are already
that beard
down
looks
the rabbit
rather
hole.
Dark, doesn't it? That beard does look rather.
It's like they're
dark.
drinking a bottle.
Ladies
of piss.
and gentlemen, I'm going to have to take this hat off now.
Yeah, I know you're hot.
Off now because it's like
very hot.
It's hot. Hot's not the word. Hot. I could leave it like that.
I want to.
There you go.
God, you look like a fucking troll doll.
I could.
All right. Do you guys have any drinks in front of you?
I can't hear you. What?
Do you have any drinks in front of you?
I've got Iron Brew.
You don't have anything to drink in front of you? We were going to do a toast.
All right. There you go.
You come here without a. I don't care if it's water, beer. Okay. Cheers, right, guys.
Cheers.
Merry Christmas.
I want to get his take on this.
I'm going to get my opinion on this.
Aye, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it looks like. Post. I could name it. I could keep it in a cage and name it. You know. I think that's better. What do you think about that?
Dude, that's so thick. It's like food.
I know. It's super thick.
It's not like liquid. It's like soup.
Like
cold soup.
You wear it round the other way. I mean, you can
like
wear
that.
it like that.
There you go.
See, that's the other look you've got. See, that's
you need a bow. You need a bow, dude. Please put a bow on that.
I think that looks lovely. That, by the way, I'm gonna get so many messages in Facebook.
It's really good.
It's really expensive.
I haven't. It's shocking.
Yeah. You'd expect it to be a lot more harsh, right? Being an IPA and
I'm gonna take it off
alcohol.
Bitter, yeah.
Oh my god, you have no idea.
It's like soup.
Wow, you shaved.
Wow. Oh, my heat feels that's so amazing.
Yeah,
by the way.
Off to the merkin.
Oh, that's so good. That. You have no idea how cool an effect that is. That's the cool air coming down.
Sorry, I'm not there with you. You could rub your head on my beaver.
Oh,
that would feel so good.
Do you want to
I'll take care of your beaver.
Papa Joey's beaver.
I can rub your head and take care of your beaver.
Dakota wants to rub his head against your beaver.
Dakota's losing it.
It's really soft.
I like soft beaver. The holiday hiatus is coming.
I mean, the suit itself is really tight, so it's a pretty tight beaver, but it's really soft.
It's a soft tight beaver.
I bet you that. You know, do you wash it every day? I hope you keep it clean.
Yeah, I douche it.
Oh
God. I'm afraid to touch it.
No, it's clean.
Okay.
What's it smell like?
A French
shower. Smell my beaver?
Yeah, I want to smell your beaver. You mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
I smell a lot of beaver. I just want to see.
We need to get a T-shirt with that. We need to do a limited edition T-shirts that say "Smell your beaver."
Yeah.
Smell my beaver. Welcome. You might get paranormal crabs.
Okay, I want to smell it. I don't want to touch it.
Oh my God!
Oh, it's the full effect. Absolutely.
Oh my God! This show's just went mad. That's honestly. So, on a no serious point, right? I would actually like to ask you, how did you get into the paranormal, Joe? How did that happen to you?
Tim's actually been in the paranormal a lot longer than I have. I've been fascinated with it for a very long time. You know, watching shows and whatever. Probably, well, I can't say it. Probably 20 years. You know, started watching the shows when they came out. So I've always been interested.
There you go.
And fast forward to when we put the show together in 2019. We really hadn't done anything paranormal up to that point other than enjoyed it and watching it and wanted
I think they were doing snakes.
Oh, we did all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So the truth about beer was,
about anything
it was about
else.
beer and everything else that we're interested in. Yeah. But we always knew it would kind of go paranormal. So we were able to get with a paranormal group. So as far as expertise in the paranormal, we're not. I mean, I can't talk for Tim, but when Keith and I started the program, we were not. We're just both very interested, and
they were just wanting to drink and talk about shit.
Yeah, and it just kind of
snakes
took off with that.
I must admit,
we've done paranormal investigations since, and I've really been able to delve into it. But
and then once we did start paranormal, we went ape shit crazy, and oh my God, the experiences we have had in so many places, it's just blown our mind. Yeah. And I was paranormal before Joey because of 1995 is when but it wasn't until just, a few recent years ago that I've kind of like realized that there was a lot more going on in my childhood that I suppressed and wouldn't talk about. But it was the 1995 UFO case that brought it out. And after that, I went apeshit crazy. I mean, I opened up my mind to a whole different dimension.
My hair keeps falling off because it's on a kind of weird kind of. There we go. I get some Velcro in that there. It's actually a lot better because the air's coming in. The air's coming in.
I can't talk serious while you look so sexy like that.
Oh yeah, I'll give you a pose.
But anyway, so we went paranormal, and then we did ghost investigations, and I got into CE5. My God, if anybody knows about CE5, that's just freaking nuts and incredible. And I don't go anywhere out at night without a laser pointer and a video camera.
It definitely works.
If that makes any sense.
I'll say that. Mm-hmm.
I mean, shit. I've seen shit like take right angle moves. I mean, I could have noticed it when I was a kid, but I didn't know to look for it. Right. I bet you anything when I was a kid staring up at the stars, I would have recognized it. But it wasn't until I got educated about it that I understood it, that I probably saw that. We probably all saw that stuff growing up.
Oh, yeah.
But we're just
I knew someone. I knew somebody that was ex-military, and he says, "You ever used your night vision binoculars to look into space?" And I went, "No." And he gave us a show to them, and I looked into space, and it's amazing what the night vision shows up.
Yeah, we have a friend, Karen Hill, that does CE5, and she's got some military grade night vision, and she has it hooked up to her phone and everything. And we went out and did a CE5 one time, and I can't afford this military grade CE5 night vision. I mean, it's like $2,000 or $3,000.
Oh yeah.
But she's got this thing that you just point it at the sky and just give it 18 seconds. That's all you need. Just 18 seconds, and you're going to see some shit that'll just blow your mind. And if everybody had the opportunity to do that, then this would be a whole different conversation, and there would be a lot more people talking about it. But we don't have that technology cheap enough for everybody to experience it right now. But as soon as we do, it's like the UFO landing on the White House lawn. I mean, it's there. It's everywhere. It's amazing what you can see with that night vision.
You would think about technology today. I mean, you think about iPhones and you think about Apple phones. You think about Samsung phones. And the Samsungs are one of the best phones out there. Came with their lenses, especially their lenses. I wonder what will happen when they start integrating like night vision. Because you can get that.
That's when we start transitioning from binary and multi-gender to universal. I mean, all right. So all right. So here's something I've preached, I've talked about for many years. All right. So look at the history. Put a calendar up. Put a timeline up.
Yeah.
From 2000 BC, 4000 BC, up until now. Okay. So you have this timeline, and you look at it, and you put a dot on everything, the 1100s, the 1200s, the 1300s, the 1400s. You put a dot in all of history, okay? Then you get up to 1947.
Yeah.
Before 1947, we had a wheel and fire.
Yeah, I know.
In 1947, we went from thousands of years of a wheel and fire to the first thing was a microwave. That blew everybody's mind. Then we went to fiber optics.
Yep.
Transistors. We went to shit that, where the hell has it been? It wasn't until the UFO crash in 47 that we got that and started, what's his name?
Which one?
My buddy. The one that discovered element 115.
Oh, Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar. All right. So it wasn't until 1947 that you went from a wheel and fire. I mean, yeah, you got Thomas Edison and all that stuff, and the electricity and all that. That's cool. That's simple. That's simple. But it wasn't until think about this, man. 1947. You were able to heat your food up, have X-ray vision, fiber optics, transistors over frickin' night.
Yeah.
Come on. Who can argue that? Tell me, give me one argument. Give me one argument how 2000 BC, 1000 BC, 500 years ago, 300 years ago, you give me any argument of how it could have all been different up until 1947. Give me some argument there.
Okay. As of the history that we've been taught, I agree with you. But I think
it was there before.
The Anunnaki.
Nikola Tesla, the Anunnaki. And
I mean,
sure. But it wasn't revealed until all the world until 1947. I mean, nobody had a microwave before 1947. All right. Can we agree on that?
Why did it take them so long to come up with Teflon after that?
That was like one of the
because
things.
I mean, you had a TV dinner.
Right.
That you couldn't put in the frickin' microwave.
And the aliens came down here and said, what the hell are you doing?
You guys need Teflon.
But think about it. Can you give me an argument before 1947 why there was nothing before wheel and fire until 1947? Can you give me any argument?
It's weird you say this, right? Because I've actually thought about this. See, I think if you go back far enough, I think we had technology that's more greater than what we've got right now. Because you look at the pyramids and you just look at other kind of things and just look, things don't add up. There's things in history that does not add up. I mean, if you get into like you ever heard about Tartaria and the mud flood and all that kind of stuff, the kind of conspiracy theory around about that. See, there was actually, when America was first founded, they actually came across like buildings that they've actually still exist to this day, but they say they just found them. That came. I mean, they say that were built and all that kind of stuff. I think what's happened is, let's just hypothetically say 20,000 years ago, I think there was advanced civilization on this earth
that had the same shit we have right now.
Yeah, and then I think something happened. It was all wiped clean. And then for a long time, the humans just wandered about fighting each other with swords and stuff like that. And then somebody gave the humans something. They said, "Oh, look, if you do this, you can do this." Or, "Oh, look, if I give you this." I think it's deliberately being added.
Well, of course. And if you look at Peru, and if you look at all the different, you know what the little purse is? You know that little the image of the bird man with the purse, that comes from many
Yeah,
different
that purse shows
cultures.
up in a lot of.
It shows up all over the
lot of
planet
stuff,
when they had no communication with each other. Even the structures that were built, like the Mayan temples in Peru and Indonesia and Tibet. So what's happening is they have given us technology. We've used it, we've abused it, and they've destroyed it, and we started over.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over.
And now we're ready to destroy ourselves again.
And we're ready to do that again right now because there's no, the she is really pissing them off.
I think it's got to be different this time, though.
It's time for a reset.
It's time for a reset, right? But I think it's got to be different this time because I think this time we've got help.
When technology gets too advanced for man, then man's got to be put back in his place and shut up and restarted. Because he tries to take on the role as God or a God like.
Do you know
this AI shit is going to cause everything to reset?
Do you think, right, here's a hypothetical question, right? Say there's an advanced civilization out there, which I know there is. There's advanced, and they're watching us now, and they're probably watching this show. Do you think that they didn't help in the past when it went tits up the last time? Sorry for the expression there, but it went to shit the last time. Yeah. And the civilization was wiped out. But maybe this time it might work. It might work this time. Because if you look at the space race, you look at the humans that's already left this world and went to live in another world, like the secret space program.
We already do that.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to get crazy here, but my personal belief, we're already on Mars. We're already on other.
Oh, yeah.
We're there. We've been there there are military people that have somehow communicated back to Earth that this has been happening for many years. The secret space program that had $400 billion invested in it way before Kennedy. This has been happening a long time. I'm not a conspiracy therapist.
A therapist.
Conspiracy therapist.
But let me massage that idea.
Yeah. If you watch Ancient Aliens, okay. Does anybody here watch Ancient Aliens?
I watch them.
Okay. You cannot argue that shit. There were landing irons from spaceships that are 250 million years. There's a 250 million year old hammer. There's a computer they found in the ocean that, I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to claim that I'm smarter than anyone, but if you don't recognize history and you don't recognize what's right in front of us, you're ignorant. You have to recognize what's been revealed to us. And if you don't have an explanation for that, then you're just a denier. I mean, you can't, it's black and white. What's right in front of you is right in front of you. If you want to deny that, that's fine. Go ahead and deny that. You have the freedom and will, whatever, to do that. But when it's been presented to you and put in front of your face and you say, no, that can't have, that couldn't have the giants. There were no giants. Look at all the skeletons. Look at all the things. So on Easter Island, the Moai, they thought they were just heads. And now what they're doing, they're digging down 80 to 100 feet and finding hieroglyphs on the backs of these hieroglyphs, and they're buried into the ground.
Oh, that reminds me, though. I saw something last week where it was, I don't know if it was college students or whatever, but they were trying to show people how that they could move those moai.
Oh, the ropes.
With the ropes.
Yeah, they rocked
but they
them.
only had them as
right,
how they are
up
to their, they didn't have them like they are in the ground.
Go dig the extra 120 feet down and look at the hieroglyphs on there, which you can't decipher. I mean, come on. If you deny any of that, then you're ignorant. I'm sorry.
Talk about building stuff with ropes and pyramids and stuff like that. Is it? I can't pronounce the name of this place. Is it Massachusetts or somewhere? It's somewhere I can't remember. where it is, but there's-
Machu Picchu.
And there's these building blocks, and they look like big
The
bits of Lego you
H-stones.
came up and talking about.
Stones of Puma
I,
Yeah.
and
Puma
there's
Punko.
Puma
there's like
Punko.
fields and fields. Yeah, and there's like fields and fields of them. And there was one guy saying, even today's standards, you can't make them like how they've been made because it's as if they've been.
No, and they were
Made with some
destroyed by
new
water,
technology.
a flood.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were all displaced and moved by water. Which, if you tried to do the H-stones right now in Teotihuacan, or if you were to try to re-engineer that right now with our technology, you can't do it.
Take a while.
So, I mean, I'm way beyond normal thinking.
No.
I know in my heart and in my soul that, all right, so they just found out that the earth is 4 billion years old, right? 450 billion?
I haven't heard.
4 billion or 450 billion.
It's freaking old.
They found that DNA is 900 billion years old. So if DNA is older than the earth, what does that freaking tell you?
We're from somewhere else.
We're from somewhere else. We're from the stars. We're from other planets. We're from another. And if you can accept that, you will become not political, not religious. You will become spiritual, and you will understand that there is much more. Now, I'm not knocking religion. I'm not knocking politics. It's a stepping stone.
Go ahead and knock politics. That's all right.
Well, I mean, not politics. I mean, I know, but what I'm saying is, it's a stepping stone. Religion, cultures, Chinese, Japanese type. It's a stepping stone to get to spiritualism. Once you have achieved spiritualism in your heart and in your mind, you understand, and and you accept that this is all bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm there. I'm totally there.
Yeah.
I'm totally there. I mean,
what's your opinion on the Earth? Because it's something I've actually wanted to get in for a while. Obviously, there's other worlds out there. There's other civilizations out there that have been watching us for a long time, thinking, Jesus Christ, look at it. Well, they don't think Jesus Christ because they probably didn't have him, but they're probably looking at Earth,
thank God for Jesus.
thinking,
God for that.
God. What's happening in there?
We have been taught, right?
But why do you think? Do you think Earth was created for like maybe a test lab? Or what's your opinion on this, Dakota? Because you obviously care a lot more about this kind of stuff, Dakota, than I do.
It was another freaking chance to get yourself spiritual.
Yeah. It's like a school for like reincarnating one, basically.
All right.
To learn.
All right. Our bodies are vessels. Our souls never die. They exist and exist and exist and exist and exist, and we're vessels. And they use things like religion and God and Jesus and everything to try to bring us back to a constant, to try to get us to come back to some sort of sanity and understanding, so that we don't frickin' lose our minds. So for many, many years, they've had these emperors, these kings, these, the Egyptians. I mean, the Anunnaki, the Sumerians. They've put these things here to try to get us based again. And it's like a Baptist church. All right, my dad's a minister, ordained minister, Pentecostal. I went to many, 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 many churches. I've been Baptist, Catholic, Episcopalian. I've been to all the churches. I've seen all of it. I've done all of it. And it's 1,000 different people with a different opinion. Right. I mean, do you know that? Do you know the story? All right, I'll give you an analogy. The Tower of Babel.
I've heard it. Yeah.
You've heard the story of the Tower of Babel.
Yep.
Mhm.
The people were all obsessed with becoming one with God, the God,
Yes.
a God, what they believed was God. So they built a tower up to the heavens
Yep.
to try to achieve the status and be at one with God. I mean, this is written true.
Oh yeah.
This is true history. I mean, I'm not making this up. I mean, there's a whole lot of crap that we've done out of stupidity. So what happened? They were stopped. How were they stopped? They were giving different languages. God confused their languages, so they weren't able to communicate to continue building this thing.
Yes.
They received different languages. So over a period of time, you had this group over here, you had this group over here, you had this group over here, you had this group over here. The word religion is not mentioned in the Bible, by the way. You agree with me on that?
Yes.
Okay. So the Tower of Babel. So all of these different people trying to become one with God were confused and punished and said, the seers and the aliens and everything are like, oh, no. You have no idea what you're dealing with. We're going to stop you. And they gave them all different languages. Well, over a period of time, this group, which all had different languages, thought, well, this is what happened. And this group thought, this is what happened. Some people thought the sun did it. Some people thought the tower did it. Some people thought the earth did it. Some people thought their God did. So all of a sudden you have all these different people that have not been able to communicate, that have gathered and together forming their own interpretation of what the hell just happened.
Yeah.
So now you have what's called religion.
Yeah.
Well, no, we're right. No, we're right. No, we're right. Well, no, we're right. If you don't believe in our stuff, you're not going to ascend and be at one and achieve serenity. No. We're right. We're right. The word religion is not in the Bible. It wasn't until the Tower of Babel that you had all these different groups, and I can't remember how many different groups, and I so used to remember it, and I can't remember it now, and I apologize. But you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So what do you think that all these different people with all these different opinions of what the hell just happened are going to believe? And how are you going to expect those people over there to accept your hypothesis? So now you've got all these different and listen, and I don't mean to bring religion and everything into this. I'm sorry, I have to do this.
I understand.
If you're spiritual, if you're spiritual, not religious, if you're spiritual and you do believe in Jesus and all that stuff like that, and you believe in scripture and you believe in, I believe in Enoch, and I believe all the books that were taken out of the Bible, the 13 books that were taken out of the Bible because they were too controversial. If you believe, if you're religious, and if you're spiritual and you believe in the Bible, I'm just saying, when Jesus reappeared before the disciples, before he ascended to heaven, he said a prayer. And he says, bless all of those who believe in me, but bless all those who believe in me through their own word.
Yeah.
Go look it up. That's what it says. So that doesn't mean if so I was confused as a Baptist, as a Catholic, as a Pentecostal. I was confused because the Baptists say you're going to hell. The Catholics say you're going to hell. You're not right. You're not right. All these people say you're not right, just like the Tower of Babel. Everyone has their own opinion that you're wrong. You know, we're right. We're right. As long as you believe in him through his word, you're saved. So we're all saved. We're all from aliens. We're all from the givers, the seers, the people that came from other planets and were modified by the aliens, because we started out as slaves mining gold on this earth.
Yeah.
And it kind of like went to hell. And then different systems came down and started making different, in the DNA and all that shit got changed, and we became hybrids, and we are who we are today.
Yes.
I mean, that is controversial, and I know a lot of people are going to hate what I'm saying right now.
No, I don't. I don't
There's
think it is. I think
evidence.
you're right. You're right.
There's a gene in our DNA that nobody, up into the Neanderthals and the Homo erectus, Homo sapien, whatever. There's a gene that showed up, and nobody can identify that gene. Nobody knows where that gene came from. To this day, it was alien intervention. I'm not saying the aliens created life on this earth. I'm just saying they modified it and they directed it to their.
It's like, you ever
intentions.
seen the movie? You ever seen the movie? This is an old movie, Dakota. I don't know if you've seen this or no. This is an old one for you. But 2001 Space Odyssey.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. Have you seen it?
I saw
watch the beginning
on
of that.
acid. It was awesome.
And how it
was
and how
in the
it
theater.
starts, bro.
Man.
The beginning of that
Yeah.
movie is my point right now.
Yeah. It starts, for people that's not seen it, it starts off with all the apes on a kind of, obviously it's a very young Earth.
They
or
can't
whatever.
show that on TV today. It's too.
Yeah. And the big monolith appears, the big black stone, and it's putting out like this weird singing tone, and it makes one of the apes pick up a tool
Yeah.
and kill with a tool. And that's that. It's set forth from that point. That was obviously the evolution of the man. And then it jumps into the future where there's these astronauts walking across the moon. In the founding of a monolith. That's humankind of became. See, that's the thing with me. Honestly, I went to like Sunday school and stuff like that. And
so I just want to apologize. I didn't mean to go that route.
No, it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely
and a
fine.
lot of
This is
people
what
are
we
going to
talk
think
about.
I'm freaking nuts and
No,
crazy, and that's
it's
fine
fine.
with
No.
me. But
It's
all I
fine.
can say is you're never going to be who you are. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to be anything as long as you're spiritual, as long as you achieve spiritualism. And that's where the aliens want us to eventually
That's right.
end up.
Because they've all
Period.
because they've figured this out a long time ago, all the extraterrestrials that have been visiting us. Am I right, Dakota, here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, long ago they got rid of religion because it caused a lot of problems. Let's face it, it's causing a lot of problems right now. You just need to look at the Middle East and all that kind of stuff. Get what I mean? I
given that
believe
information to
there is a
like Nostradamus and Tesla and Einstein. They've given that information to people way before us to warn us, and we've just been ignorant of it.
I mean, I believe there's something that made us, right? There's something that made the universe. There's something that did create us, but it's not an old guy with a beard, a cane, and a big white robe, right? It's not that. It's something.
If you
else.
want to
It's
call
like a
that
light.
God, that's fine. Go ahead and call that God.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, you have to believe that there's a higher power that created the universe that is in charge of everything. Yeah. And you can call it whatever you want to call it, but you have to come to the realization that that is what is in charge. That is what. I think we're a matrix. I think we're a computer generation machine. I think we live in I think we're all programmed. I think we come and go. And it's like you have 5 lives, like a Defender, and you die, and then you get 4 more lives. Then you put another fucking quarter in, and you get 5 more lives. We're all sitting here to do a purpose, and then you try to complete your mission. If you don't, you get to come back and try and complete it again. and it's a repetition, and it's over and over and over. And then when you finally exceed at your mission, then you get to go to a higher place, and you don't have to play the game anymore.
Yeah. See, I like it how Dakota, can you explain this? How the extraterrestrials up there, how did they do it? How do they, right, for instance, say you work with them, right? You work, we've just gone this way. You work with the extraterrestrials and you want to come to this earth. How did they do it?
Stasis pods.
Yeah. Exactly. I wish I could have said all that quick.
Would have saved a lot of time.
God damn it.
But see, that's the thing. That I will say, this religion has caused nothing but trouble on this planet. It has. It's caused nothing but trouble.
I know.
I mean, let's face it. But it's. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that the Bible was written a long time after Jesus was died. What was it? 500 years. It was written about 500 years after Jesus died. The Bible was written, and it is like the game. Is it telephone? I mean, 500 years later, there was an old guy or a monk or something like that in a castle somewhere that decided, oh, let's write a book on this. And they had to write what was passed down. Can't I mean? I definitely think that God isn't what people think God is. I think there's just something. I think there's like maybe a place you go and a beginning to the end, if you get my drift, kind of thing. It's like nobody will know. I'll never know until the very end, I suppose. But I'll not be able to tell Andy because I'll be dead.
Everything's been lost in translation.
I'll remember.
Dakota, what do you think about what I just said?
You're on the right track.
I mean, did I say anything that you have any argument with?
No, not really.
But see, this is what people don't want to talk about.
Because it scares the living hell out of them.
Yeah, it scares the hell out of them. And that's why I am not afraid to die tomorrow. Because it's not about fear. It's about programming. It's about the matrix. It's a computer system. We're all programmed to be here the time that we are here, and we're programmed to leave the time that we leave. And if you can understand that, then you can be the happiest damn person in the world. But if you can't understand that, and you're scared, and you're always walking around, then you're going to be miserable, and you're going to have to come back and redo that shit because you fucked up.
Did you see that? Talking about reincarnation, did you see that case? I can't, Dakota, you'll have to help me here. When was that case in America with the guy? I think he'd murdered the family. I can't remember exactly. And he said to the judge, he says, listen, I want the death sentence so as I can go back.
Exactly.
I can go back.
Hurry up and kill me because I fucked up and I want to come back and make it right.
Aye. Because he knew.
David Koresh.
He knew this was just one big computer game.
David Koresh. The Waco thing.
Yeah.
He tried. He failed. Nobody got on Heaven's Gate. Everybody, they tried. Jim Jones. Some are good. Some are evil. Some have a good intention. Some have a bad intention. And those with the bad intention will have their say in the afterlife and in the afterworld. But the people that really mean it and want it, and what bothers you?
What bothers you, Pete? Tell us. Do tell.
What bothers you, Pete?
I mean, while we're waiting Pete's answer, I mean,
I know this is hard, and I don't say this to a lot of people. There's stuff I've told Joey that I wouldn't tell anyone because it's just too controversial, and it's too. I mean, I have a brain injury. Okay, I had my brain taken out, and I wasn't supposed to be alive. And they talk about these people that have frontal lobe injuries that come back, and they can play pianos, and they can speak different languages, and they can do all this stuff.
But he won't rub my beaver. I don't know what that
I'll
is.
rub your beaver anytime. Anytime. Wait until the
See what
show's
I'll do?
over.
I'll send it. I'll send it to you. Its name's Spot.
I'll rub your beaver, man.
Oh God.
But what I'm saying is there people that, I mean, this is controversial. They used to burn people that believed like this.
I know. They would have burnt me. They would have burnt you. They
They
would have
still
burnt
try.
Dakota. They would have burnt us
Nostradamus
all.
had to write all this code because if he had written the truth, they would have killed him.
Mm-hmm.
But so
Yeah.
far, Nostradamus was right about every damn thing he wrote about. But
Yeah.
in today's world, if I want to be a girl, I can say I'm a girl, but I can also tell you what's in my heart. And if I can tell you what's in my heart and what I believe,
My
then
heart rate just went up.
Yeah.
and he can say he's a girl, then you can't do shit to me. So I have freedom to express what I believe, and because if you can't
I'm a beaver, dude.
punish him because he's a beaver, he identifies as a beaver. I apologize.
Identifies a turnip.
If he identifies as a beaver, then I can identify as a person that believes in what I believe in, and it's only up until the last few years we've been able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's been scared to tell what they believe and what their truth is, and I guarantee you, man, if you polled half of the population and say, look, we've been Baptists for 37 years, and if you ask them, do you really think you had to be Baptist the whole time? If they could really tell you how they felt, they would have said, no, I don't think I really had to be Baptist, but they will tell everyone you have to be Baptist.
See, I find that interesting. You say that, Tim, because this is weird. Because I was watching YouTube last night. I watch YouTube all the time, and it was talking about near-death experiences.
Yeah, I've had one.
And it was a pastor. It was an American pastor. I can't remember what state he was in. And he'd done it for years. He was 67 or something like that. He was 67, and he was up on the stage, and he had a heart attack on the stage. And he says he started crying when the guy was talking to him, interviewing him. He says, "Why are you crying?" He says, "I stood before this white light, and it wasn't like a man with a big beard or like a cloak on, and it was just a white light. And it said to me, it says, why have you been doing that your whole life? Why have you been doing that?
Yeah,
And
why are
says,
you so
"Why have
fucking
been preaching
stupid?"
the word of Jesus. Why have you been preaching the word of Jesus?" He says, "Oh, because you told me to." He says, "Because God, what
That's
says,
the way
it doesn't matter.
yeah.
It doesn't." And then he's like, it says, the light says to him, it says to him this.
You were wrong.
Aye. It says, you only need to believe. You can be anything you want, and you're always welcome here. And he came out of that. And now he goes on about telling people that you can be anything, you can believe in anything you want. You are going, if you lead a good life, you are. You see where I'm going with this?
Absolutely. But it's going to take a come to Jesus, a wake up, a life and death experience for you to get that.
That's whoever
Yeah.
your personal Jesus is.
Yeah, I mean, we're using Jesus as a metaphor, or God as we know it. You know, when I went to rehab for a month, I don't know if you believe that or not, but they wouldn't let you say God. They wouldn't let you say anything. They said your higher power. That's all you could say. You couldn't say God. You had to say your higher power. So our higher power is God as we know it, God as we describe it. But for everybody, their higher power is their God. But that God is different to every freaking human on this planet. It should be, but we're brainwashed to believe that it's only one God.
See, it was quite interesting what that pastor says that, because he believed that the God looked that way, and he believed in Jesus, and he believed that, he truly believed that with his life, because he preached and preached and preached.
Yeah,
but
I do too.
When he met the Creator or whatever it was just a white light that gave him love. and it says you were welcome. And it says, listen, it says, I want you to go back and tell everybody you don't need to be. You don't need to be stuck in this one religion. You don't need to be stuck in this religion to believe in me.
Exactly. You don't need to be religious. It's not about now religion. Thank God for religion, because it's a stepping stone for the people that need the help.
Yeah.
But once you become spiritual, there's no such thing as religion. I mean, there is such thing as religion, but you don't need religion anymore. And people like Joey, he's not been religious. I mean, he
I have been religious.
He has. He's been brainwashed in his.
But I've completely gone the other direction.
But since he's become spiritual, he doesn't need anyone to brainwash him into being spiritual. He is spiritual.
Bring up Pete's comment, because
was it Dad's faith found him and stayed with him until he died. The voodoo faith is very old. I mean, so I would say the voodoo faith's older than Christianity, is it not?
It's one of the oldest religions surviving.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I had a big connection with Mike through learning his religion, because it was more, it connected with me on how I felt about religion. I'm not a voodoo practitioner or anything like that, but as he explained it in,
layman's,
and just, I have to go back to one of his episodes, one of his lives that he did. I was lying in bed with shingles.
Was that the Inquisition one? Was that the one where he says, because I was in the chat, I was talking to you, and
I know you were there too. Yeah,
he started to read you, but he didn't mean.
Yeah, and he kind of left what he was talking about and turned his head away from the camera, because after I told him I'd had shingles, and it was like, oh shit, man, that's terrible. Whatever. All of a sudden, we had this connection when he turned his head. I felt him connect with me, and it was it was
a spiritual.
It was a very spiritual experience, and that's where you can't use a complete blanket comment to cover all religion, because there are certain religions that you need.
There's no label.
There's things in there that help guide you through. It's a roadmap. It's stereo instructions, There's
no label. There's no label.
Putting things together. And Mike read his instructions very well.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I think what we're getting out of this is, if you have problems, if you have doubts, if you have hang-ups, you need to strive towards spiritualism and leave the brainwashing labels behind.
Yeah.
That's not going to hurt anybody, right? Now, if it takes those labels and those beliefs and those religions to get you to spiritualism, praise the Lord.
That's it.
Thank God.
Exactly.
But your goal is to achieve spiritualism. And when you achieve spiritualism and realize that it's not God, it's something much more powerful that we can't comprehend, but we want to.
I will say this. I will say that the voodoo faith I find fascinating. I'm going to say that now. I find it fascinating more than Christianity, and it's definitely older. So really old. I mean,
oh yeah.
When Mike would talk about voodoo, the voodoo faith and the hoodoo and stuff like that.
That's another form of spiritualism.
I'd be like just sitting there, and you could feel the room.
Yes, absolutely.
You could feel it.
You could.
And I've been to church a few times. I'll admit that. I've been to church a few times, and I've never felt it. Anything, nothing. But when Mike was in the room, it was different. there was this weird kind of. I think it's because he was so connected with his faith. I really do. He was so connected with it, and wherever he is now, I hope he's doing good things because he probably
he is.
Probably floating.
He was the most
as
spiritual
new.
person I've ever met.
He was.
And he
was
is
an amazing
connected to the
person.
spirit world more than anyone I've ever met. And I think my lucky stars and our seers and our givers and our people that have come down and educated us and given us what we've got. And I am so glad for Mike. And I'm glad that Mike was able to pass that on in his own word.
Yes.
And I accept his own word because we're all right, but he was spiritual. So that's what matters.
He was used to it when I used to talk to him and stuff like that. It was funny because he didn't like angels, the word angels and stuff like that. Yeah, he was or demons or stuff like that. Because
there's no angels or demons.
No.
I'm going to say this
from who the stars came.
What's that? I'm just reading the chat there. What's that? Son of the naked Bigfoot, Pete. Dad wasn't brainwashed. We can. Your dad wasn't brainwashed. He wasn't brainwashed. Your dad was
no, by any means at all. No. He achieved spiritualism through his own word.
Yes,
and he's blessed.
Your dad is more now than.
And I'm jealous.
Yeah, Pete, your dad is an amazing person, and
because he got it easier and better than a lot of people I know. He achieved it before and easier than I have or anybody I know has, and I thank God for that. That's why to me he's a saint. He's a hero.
Yeah.
No, he was a Rhodes Scholar basically. You know, I mean, he went all over the country and all that, searching for things.
Yes,
he knew. So when his truth came to him, he was ready to accept it.
Exactly.
You know, he was welcomed in, and
I wish I had it like that, but I don't. He fortunately he got to achieve that more than all of us, and hats off.
Well, he's probably watching us now somewhere out there.
Of course he is.
There. And he's probably watching you, Pete, as you at that moment as you sat there. He's probably standing next to you. And honestly, I don't know, Dakota used to talk about this today, didn't you, Dakota, about how you used to get the weird vibes of Mike. How it was just like there was just this weird energy. You remember the nights he used to come on, and I'm not joking, he would sound like a Cylon. It was like the electric. He had to go. I don't know if he had this special place where he did lives and that. He had this wee protective area. But there was nights that he did, and there was nights that Papa Joe, that you and me would be in the chat, and he'd be doing these talks. You remember the one that he did? Is it Raising the Dead? Remember that one?
Right.
And he told that story about what happened and stuff like that. And I'll tell you something. That changed me. It did change me, meeting Mike. It made me into a totally different person because now I look at the world in a total different way because I know there's things out there that can get you in the night.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's spiritualism. And I would say of all the people I've ever met before in my life, Mike was the most spiritual person I ever met.
Yeah. It was.
Thank God.
And he was sadly
I'm glad he helped me.
He left a lot of good stuff for us to be able to share,
ponder, and,
you know.
Well, he left Smile Dog with us. Wait, did we have any complaints about that, Dakota? Did we get any complaints about Smile Dog out of curiosity?
No.
Oh, they were all right then. Anybody that's seen it in my end said they never experienced anything, so that's a good thing. But he's also left us Pete. We've got Pete.
Yes, he did. Thank you, Pete.
We've got you. And one day we hope to have you on here and we can talk to you and you can tell us some creepy stories, you know.
Yeah,
So
he
what
was
are-
in the
what are-
chat last night. We were on Super Horror Show's premiere,
Yeah.
and he was getting lots of encouragement to get his own channel up and going.
He needs to.
And he
Aye,
really does
Pete,
need to.
get your channel up. Come on, everybody in the chat, tell Pete to get the channel.
And please come
do
on
it,
our
Pete.
shows.
I can, Pete. You need to come on, man.
He says he
Yeah.
has a face for radio, but I said, you know, don't we all?
Just do like Dakota and turn light way down low, and you can't. I can barely see Dakota.
It makes him mysterious. I like it.
It is.
It is Dakota is mysterious. Though. Dakota is
Yeah.
definitely the mysterious man. He has just got that kind of look about him, you know. What's that? Sure. I would like to meet Pete one day, have him on the show, because I
Road trip.
think he's just like his dad. I think he's just like his dad. I really do think he's just like
Absolutely.
his dad.
Chip
His
off the
comments
old
are
block.
just like his dad's. So,
Oh, good God!
I mean, it's like Mike himself is writing those comments a lot of times.
Yeah. But Pete, if you're still in here, Pete, you should maybe put out some videos telling us some creepy stories. You know,
Yeah, man. We need stories.
that video that Mike Dad did the thing.
Oh,
I want to hear
remember
his
that?
stories.
I want to hear a follow up on those dogs that disappeared.
That was amazing.
Whoop.
Joey just sent that to me,
Dakota's
and I
been
was like
teamed up.
blown away.
What happened to Dakota?
Come back!
Come back.
The aliens have got him. Yeah, that's
He's
it.
been beamed
took.
up.
He's been beamed up. No, come back. That's that. That's and either that or it's Mike that's got him.
Mike beamed him up.
Aye, maybe Mike beamed him up, you know. But so you's all ready for Christmas? You've been doing your Christmas shopping, guys?
We're done. I'm done.
No,
We're still.
I've
working on it.
Amazon different.
I got Joey a beaver pelt.
Oh, thanks. I need a beaver brush.
What is it with beavers we use for?
Yeah.
I got a brush for his beaver pelt.
Like to
Oh
get a
my
nice.
God.
No, never mind.
Don't just let's just.
I can't. Yeah.
Oh
I don't
my
know if you know
God,
about Buc-ee's here in Texas, but they have like these amazing gas stations that
It's beginning. Don't know what happened there, ladies and gentlemen. It's the aliens.
split screen.
Dakota!
It's like the world's biggest truck stop.
Yeah,
Walmart.
they're freaking huge, and they've got like department store inside their.
They make their own
Their
food,
stores.
their own jerky.
They've got good stuff, and my biggest complaint is I really think that they should start their own brand of beer because I think they would go crazy if they had beaver beer.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I
if you
just
had
had
like
to know- I just-
like if you had a Belgian
Beaver
wit,
beer.
yeah,
Dakota,
you know what a
if you want a
Belgian wit
beaver
is? It's
beer.
kind of like a Hefeweizen. They could call it wit beaver, or you could have a nut brown ale, and you have nuts to beaver. I mean, there's all kinds of things they could do. It would have some really great beer brands.
I'd take a beaver light.
Oh yeah.
So Dakota, are you a beaver man?
Dakota's speechless.
He doesn't care what you say. He'll say
Dakota,
something
how do you
after
feel
the
about
phrase.
beaver?
That's about how I feel.
That's
too.
about how we all feel.
Oh my God. So guys, it's been really good having you, and we'll need to get you on the show again one night, you know. So are you doing a show next week at all for the Christmas week?
We're on with Super.
Probably Friday. We're hoping this next Friday to do one with Super Horror Show, but I need to talk to him about that. So yeah, we're gonna talk to him after the show here.
And then we're
I've
thinking
actually
about doing some daily stuff. How does that sound?
You should. You should do some daily stuff. You should do some more stuff. Try and bribe Pete on your show. Get him on. You have to go out there and tie Pete up and put a bag out of seed and drag him out his farm.
We'll try.
We're having technical problems tonight. That's weird. See that's strange. There's some weird
Dakota
stuff.
running
It's because we started talking.
The works.
No, it keeps kicking him out. I don't know what's going on. Dakota, you
that's
there,
weird.
man? It's not letting me bring you up.
That's
for some
because
weird
Mike's with
reason. I'm
us.
clicking the show.
Mike.
He's letting us know he's with us tonight.
Yeah, when everything
No,
starts going haywire, it's Mike.
I think that is Mike. It's not letting me bring you up, Dakota, in the chat. Let me try one more time.
There he
That's
is.
crazy.
He's a mysterious man.
He is.
You with us? No.
I'm still here. I'm still here, but I think there's
All right,
technical
Mike.
problems
Thank you.
tonight. Mike.
Wow, that's really
Look
crazy.
at that.
It's like a slideshow.
That's
Never seen that before.
so, guys. It's been that is Dakota. Are you okay, man? Because you keep getting kicked out. I think he's
God.
frozen.
Oh,
But anyway,
I got-
thank you so much,
Yeah.
Chris,
This has been
Yes,
for
fun.
having us. And
No problem. So
We
we'll
look forward
catch
to
you
seeing
again,
you
everybody,
again.
and thank you for coming on. And
Yeah.
we'll talk to
Merry
you.
Christmas.
yeah, Merry Christmas.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you see Bald and Bonkers for even more insanity. Be sure to spread the love to the Bald and Bonkers boys' other endeavors. And a special thank you to our audience, guests, and everyone else who helps make this crazy ride happen. Amazing things are ahead. Learn more by visiting www.baldandbonkers.net. See you next time. Much love and take care. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. From the deepest jungles to the outmost reaches of space and beyond the veils of death itself, the Bald and Bonkers boys are back for another episode. It's no secret that you won't know what will happen next, but Dakota Franson and Chris Mole promise that all bets are off. Viewer discretion and straitjackets advised. These two idiots live up to the name.
And unfortunately, the remark about us being idiots lives on in two different ways.
Look, I can't help it. I can't wear the wig the other way because it's too hot, right? I think this looks awesome. I have just started a new craze in the podcast world. So if you're watching this, Dave Schrader, or anyone else that's in the podcast world that's bald, this is the craze. Come on, the ladies love it.
Oh, dear Lord. No, so far you've only had other men. But hey, if that's how you want it, that's what you're into.
It's fine. That way.
Judge you. If that's
We
how
were just
you
having a
feel,
conversation.
if that's how you should be, if that's who you're into, absolutely go for it.
There's nothing wrong with
it's
it.
not my
There's
place.
nothing wrong with things like that.
There's nothing wrong with it.
As Dakota was talking before the show, there's nothing wrong with things like that. We were actually talking about driving across America in an RV, and he says to me that it's dangerous driving over the mountains in an RV. And I says, well, if you stick to the highways, the tarred surface, it's this. I don't know if you've got them over there, they're like roads, and they've got like paint on them. And
you do realize some of the roads here in the U.S. are fucking deadly.
Be fine.
Dude.
React, man. Chill.
I don't overreact. I know the bodies. So a lot of the missing
it's highly
ones are dumbasses who think they can conquer the nature.
Yes, but I'm not talking about driving through the woods and over the mountains and stuff like that.
That's Colorado.
I'm talking about driving an RV that's got climate control and comfy seats on a highway. What? Here's Dots, he'll come with us. He'll make the tea.
Elton and Dakota.
Hey, Elton. Wait, look, I'll put it back on one more time for you. Honestly, I'll tell you something now. I better not put it on the wrong way around. It looks absolutely stupid. I'm telling you, it's 100% polyester. The quality in that, look at that. I'll leave it to the side a wee bit. That's covered
All
the
you need
bulge
is
with
the
the
diamond
aliens, with the
encrusted
aliens
cock
taking
rings.
away. What?
All you need is your diamond encrusted cock rings.
What's that? Simply Alan. You look like young Elton John, Chris. Candle in the wind. Come on, everybody. Honestly, I would wear it, but it's awfully warm.
No.
What if that looks like kind of French beret, doesn't it? That looks like a kind of French beret, that one. That's Elton after a night out in the town. He's like that, you know. You've changed my name. Change that back. Change that back, you cheeky bugger.
What are you talking about?
You're changing my bloody name. You
I
tear
didn't
it off.
change your name.
Hello, Stephanie. Do you like my hair transplant? It went horribly wrong.
I didn't change your name at all. What are you talking about?
You
God.
changed my bloody name. L Bolden. Honestly, I think everybody should get a Bolden Bonkers wig, and I think it's a big thing nowadays. Honestly, you want to see me what it looks like with it on, because some of you are not there. I'll take this off. Wait a minute.
Oh,
I have to put it
Jesus.
on for the labels. Here we go. Look at that.
For the labels?
What?
Did you just say put it on for the labels?
I put it on for the labels, aye. How
For
did
the
you think I
labels?
said labels? Were you thinking about
Labels?
something else? Labels?
Is this? Do we have another aluminium conversation getting ready to brew up here? What the fuck you mean by labels? Like
labels?
labels
You
to
tell
put
me what
on
label is, don't you?
packages?
Is it a label? Do you
Like,
have labels in America? Do you have labels when you buy things? They usually have labels on them.
Okay, all right.
You know, like this is an
We're on the same
XXL
track.
T-shirt, or this is like a made in Taiwan or something.
So
label.
how the fuck are you wearing the wig for the labels?
That's a good point. I don't know why I said that. It must
I
be
was
that.
like, is
It
there
must
some
be that
sort of
special
UK
stuff that I've
slang?
taken to help myself relax.
I was about to say, do we have some sort of US UK mistranslation happening again?
Do you not think I look younger?
No.
Honestly, be an honest opinion. Do you think I look younger? I think
No,
I do.
you look
I'll tell you
like
something
a
right now.
40-year-old virgin who has not left his mother's basement because all he does is play Xbox all day.
I'm going to say this now. I'm not in the basement. I'm in my bedroom. But I'm going to say this right now. I'll tell you something right now. This is
That's the
ridiculously
part he
warm.
argues with me on is the basement.
It's ridiculously warm, this. And I'm not joking, these guys, by the way. But this isn't. See, if you're wanting a survival situation, you do not need a lighter. You do not need matches or wood to survive in the woods. All you need is a Bolden Bonkers wig. Buy one now, $99.99 from Bolden Bonkers. There you go.
No, we don't have official wigs. Chris is just an idiot.
Honestly, I think we should come out wearing wigs. I mean, look at the boys last night from All About Beer. They were out there. They were right into the wigs. They thought I looked handsome. What?
Chris, it's okay to come out of the closet.
I know.
It's
I know you
perfectly
can.
okay. I know.
It's fine.
I know. It's rough. The world out there is kind of crazy.
I know.
You know, everybody wants to hide in the closet because they're afraid it's
kid
going to
on
be the
Donald
only thing
Trump.
that saves them from
I could
nuclear
kid
war.
I could kid on him Donald Trump. I'm going to make. Wait for this. I'm going to make space great again, but I'm going to have to build a wall around the earth.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's already a few races that would agree with that idea.
I should have painted myself orange. What? You're just jealous. I think he's just jealous, ladies and gentlemen, my handsome looks. I think all the radio hosts out there, podcast hosts out there that are bald, want to look like me.
As Pete says, you have a face for radio.
Mm-hmm. It's weird you should say that because I seen you on the radio last week.
Mm-hmm. How so?
You were the big knob at the side.
Oh, I fucking walked into that one, didn't I? I fucking walked into that one, didn't I?
Oh, come on, that's bailing that, man. My God, it's 100% polyester. How better can you get? It's only like killed the
Try
planet.
wearing a wig at a disco party with a bunch of drunk idiots around you.
Did you just like that? Did you like that one, the big no? You're not the first person I've got with that.
I'm about to say, that show doesn't even air yet.
So, it will soon be the year 2024. What
I
has
know.
Bald and Bonkers got planned for that? Are we on the precipice?
Well, Mr. Alexander, yeah, we'll be looking for a brand new co-host, but come out of your mother's basement from time to time. You know,
Oh,
enjoy the rest of
maybe
the world.
maybe the guy in the chat that we blocked, maybe he would want to become a co-host.
I don't know. I don't know. From the way he sounds, it kind of sounds like that one who tried to claim he was an alien expert, but Dakota's an asshole. Y'all should probably give yourself a nice little reach around, since you obviously don't get up and see the world enough, that you had enough fat accumulated that you haven't seen your own peckers for quite some time.
But you've got to remember.
Yeah, I am kind of an asshole.
You've got to remember.
I am an asshole.
Well, of course you are. We're all assholes. But here's the interesting thing, right? He was an alien expert, but he couldn't spell. Couldn't spell. He was an alien. What was it? An alien expert or something like that.
I thought it was an alien accept.
Nice to see you guys. Oh, there's lots of new people in here tonight. Lots of people coming in. Hey, nice to see you guys. I will watch the video later. Enjoy and keep bringing the truth. We will.
Johan,
You've just gave me an idea.
I probably just totally butchered that.
I could line this with tinfoil
Yes.
to keep away the psychic rays while I wear it.
Why don't you just put in those 5G stickers on the inside of it?
That's a good idea.
That would probably be a little bit more comfortable. But we do actually have some stuff coming up, and it's actually going to be starting here in the next couple of weeks while we are on the holiday hiatus. These are not necessarily supernatural, paranormal, UFO related, but it is part of the company's mission in order to try to help people be able to tell their stories, break through the molds, as they were. So we're soon going to start offering classes. Oh, Joey, goddamn you. He just put the locks away. I just saw the message.
Chain me up. Chain me at the wall.
But no, we actually have classes that are going to be offered to those who buy into our memberships. You don't have to go for the $10 one. It's just 99 cents a month.
Yeah.
A little something to help bring some income into the company, because we do have a streaming service we're trying to put together. We have several new books that are planned all the way into August of next year, getting ready to release. If you subscribe to the Patreon and go for our $10 a month plan, you can actually get access to all the books that are available as they're going through the approval process through our printing partner. So we got a lot of shit coming up.
There is a lot of good stuff on there. But I was also talking about, see how you Go Squad Scotland are putting some of my content on the Bald and Bonkers Tay, so as my subscribers can come across. But you're getting Go Squad Scotland, but you're also getting Bald and Bonkers. And it was just got to be private videos, if you know what I'm saying, just for
you really want to say private videos after yesterday's show?
No private videos, but you came what I mean. What I was like that. I mean, maybe a special video.
Just make your own little OnlyFans, Chris. Come on.
Well, you do it. You do it for Pete. Pete was in the chat last night asking you if you were going to be doing it. No, it's when I go to a location to film, I'll film maybe a different part of the castle or something like that, and then I'll upload it onto there. So if you want to see inside it, you'll see it on.
Why don't you just recycle the one that Bald and Bonkers page that you did try to set up but didn't go nowhere?
I can't remember how to get into that. I've lost my passwords and all that.
I figured you would be the type to use your password manager on everything.
So we're trying to save up some money, guys, so as we can buy Dakota a toupee like mine. Yes, Papa Joe. I do have it here, and it's bringing it out again. He keeps going on about it. He keeps wanting me to wear it,
No, I'm wanting you to stand next to a big old bonfire and set yourself up.
Again, it says, "Do not stand anywhere closer. Do not stand next to a naked flame."
Well,
it's ridiculously warm. It's ridiculous. Honestly, I think we should wear these. I think we should go to the next UFO event next year in the United States.
Yeah,
You know?
hold on, Chris. Hold on. Knowing what I know you're planning on using that for,
What?
you're using it for your profile pictures and your dating websites.
Well,
Do you really want? Are you going to take the risk for a naked flame if you find someone who is clearly blind enough to find you attractive?
What the no? I have a lot of candles, ladies and gentlemen. I've got this. What's this? That'd be funny, isn't it? They'd burst into flames.
What the? Oh,
Simple Jack. Oh,
God.
that's engine. I never thought about that. Simple Jack. That's great. That, by the way, I never thought about that. Where's the? See, there's this got a label. It's got a label in here. It says "Made in China." Get what I mean? What better can you get? Me and Dakota, we like to do podcasting.
Is that supposed to be? Is that supposed to be Simple Jack or Forrest Gump?
Yeah, it's meant to be Forrest Gump. It's meant to be Forrest Gump, but I can't even fucking do it.
Oh, God.
That's what's it. Dakota needs some dress. Honestly, I think he's just jealous, Papa Joe.
No,
I think
just
he's just jealous. He's just wanting to sit there at night and feel the long, smooth plastic blowing in the air conditioner. You know?
No, unfortunately, because we had the baby in the house, we got to keep the house fucking hot as hell.
Well, here you go. Well, see, you should get one of these. Honestly, I think you would look awesome with it. I could see as the new at the next UFO event wearing their toupees, walking in, you know, everybody looking at us.
I wore a wig to the disco party.
Disco.
And trust me, people didn't believe I actually had the thing. I walked up behind this Brazilian guy and said, "Hey, Baldy, what's going on?" And he just looked at me like, Dakota, what are you wearing, man? He legitimately talked like that. I'm trying not to be rich.
But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you're wanting a wig, you know, we'll see if we can make them available in the store.
Yeah, we'll see. Who knows?
You know?
With all the stuff you can customize these days, you never know.
Oh, you can get any color of them, by the way. You can get blue, green, yellow, purple. You can get any color.
You don't need to make yourself look like an e-girl, Chris.
I think you would look awesome with one. Dakota does have a wig there. I can't get one for special occasions there because he wore it when I seen him on a show one night. Remember that show you did years and years ago, and you wore it.
Yeah, I believe that was one of the ones we had Lisa Fry on. I think it was actually the one with the pet skeptic.
Mm-hmm.
And and the pet skeptic kept looking and was like, "Is there a big guy here? A big bald guy?" And I'm just looking at you like, well, that's your host. That's the host. What you know,
you're big and bald too. I will say this has got to go down in history as one of the funniest shows. It's got to go down in history as one of the funniest shows, you know. But actually, you don't need to wear that in your head. You can wear it in your chest if you want to. See if you want it for the ladies too, you know.
No, I need something for the face and that if I'm going that route, but
well, you could cut a couple of eyes in it and a nose bit for your nose to stick out, and you could just stab it on your face.
God, dear God.
So, curiosity, Dakota, what crazy things have been happening in the world this weather?
Well, I just happened to catch this just before coming on to here and getting the show set up. But apparently, this is going to go very dark. So, viewer discretion advised for the fucking pussies out there that want to complain about us. There's a man out of Canada who has 14 charges of murder. As well, I can't remember exactly what it's being called because he's been selling suicide kits online.
Oh, I think I've heard about this guy. He's been what's in the suicide kit out of curiosity?
For this one, what he was doing, he was selling out fatal doses of sodium nitrate, which is used to help preserve meats.
Yeah. Is that?
And at least 14 have died from it, from his kits. How the fuck did he even get it listed in the first place?
That's crazy. That I mean, look, I suppose you could overdose in chemicals and stuff like that. But I mean, you think
No,
about
inject
in the world.
that shit directly into you. You don't have much time.
Wait, is it no legal? Is it California? Assisted suicide is legal.
I think they were talking about it in California, but I do believe Switzerland was actually getting ready to put out assisted suicide machines, like out of Futurama.
I know. It's no Sweden? Where am I thinking about? Where all the windmills that's off flat? Is it Amsterdam and all that? They do like a. They do at their tea. It's like assisted suicide and stuff like that. Look, I ken this is a subject that's
very touchy.
Very touchy.
Oh,
but what the hell's that?
It's a QR code for a list of hotlines I put together, but the dimensions are way off. So it's where it scans correctly.
Look, when it says, right, see for instance, right, let's just take me for instance. Right, I found I was I had cancer and I was agonizing pain every day of my life, right? I mean, ridiculous agonizing pain. And I was taking Christ knows what concoction of drugs just to keep me alive. Well, to take away the pain. Or say it was you, for instance, would you rather take something and no wake up again?
Depends on how bad it was.
I mean, I can remember I remember in the olden days. This is going back to maybe the 40s, the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s and the 60s. Doctors used to see if the cancer patient was really, really, really badly ill in agony. They gave them a wee bit more morphine than they should to help them transition into the next world. But I will say this: if you're suicidal and that, don't kill yourself, guys, because there's more to life than committing suicide and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, there's things you can do. There's people can talk to. Is that what that thing is up in the corner for people to scan?
This little QR code, you can go ahead and scan it. What it will do is it'll take you to a listing of crisis hotlines internationally.
Yeah.
As many as I could fucking find. If you have these types of thoughts, this is something Chris and I have both dealt with personally in our own lives. Some of you know a little bit more about where my story led to, but nevertheless, I know the world is kind of crazy right now, and unfortunately, this is the time of year where there's always a spike. It's not worth it. There's better days coming, but you got to be around in order to see them.
And I mean, if you've got friends, message them and talk to them and tell them what's happening, and they'll listen to you and talk to you. Or if any of yous in the chat are feeling that way, message us or messages on Facebook or whatever if you can get a hold of us. Can't I mean? I see because I don't know if you're the same, Dakota, right? And maybe some of the folk in the chat now, because I've came to the realization what life actually is, right? Because I can, when you die, you go somewhere because I do this stuff. You go somewhere and all that. Do you really want to come back and have to do it all again? Because that's what happens. I've met mediums and they've told me that people have committed suicide and they have to come back and relive it. There's some people out there that have committed suicide multiple times, and the reason they keep coming back is to try and break the cycle of them doing what they're doing. So think about it in this sense. Heaven probably awaits on everybody out the afterlife and the beautifulness and all that. But why not enjoy yourself here first? Try and live as long as possible. Because it's a blink of an eye here and it's for eternity there. Do you know what I'm saying?
There's a lot. No, I agree with you. But there's some things where, I'll be honest, I not too long ago, I got into a conversation with one of my best friends from school. I was just rolling into town, figured, check in with him, see how he's been been a while since I've seen him in person, and honestly, he just kept going on about all this terrible stuff going on, but nevertheless, on one level, it made me a bit more grateful about my situation. Is that, well, may not be ideal. You know, I've come a long way. And it's reason why I share my story. Yes, it does involve weird aliens and time travel and something that makes it sound like a Doctor Who fan fiction. I get it, trust me. But nevertheless, if anything, it's taught me that there is better things out there. Sometimes we may not see it. Sometimes certain things have to break down in order for you to realize what else can truly be done. I know I wouldn't be able to have the opportunities I get today if I went through with it.
I mean, you obviously you're sitting here because you've seen a lot of things, a lot of crazy stuff, Dakota. Let's face it, you've seen stuff, and so have I. I've seen weird stuff and all, and I know for a fact that there is life after death. You do go somewhere, right? I don't know where you go or what happens, right? But what happens if you were sent here to live out your life, and then you end your life when you shouldn't end your life, and then you go back to the source and they're like, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to go back again and relive that. And every time they wipe your memory, maybe you're stuck in this weird loop, right? So if you're thinking, you're sitting there thinking, oh, I'm going to end my life. Maybe that's the 10 millionth time you've done that. You've ended your life. This time, don't phone that number and break the cycle. Honestly, just break the cycle and do not do it.
Exactly. Phone a number, phone a friends, phone the authorities if you have to. Do what you have to do. Set goals for yourself. Even if it's something small, like losing a little bit of weight here, or saving up for a video game that's coming out here at this time, or some big trip that you want to go on. Whatever it is that works for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything grandiose. It's small steps. All it is.
Yeah. Set a goal.
Exactly. I mean, isn't that the whole point behind New Year's resolutions? Setting goals for the coming new year, and hopefully you actually follow through?
Well, I don't know what my New Year's resolution's got to be this year. I just don't know, because last year there was one and I done it, and it's strange, isn't it? It's amazing how quick the years come in there.
I know. God, it's all. I mean, it's like I blinked. It was come to March. My sister just had her 21st birthday. Found out she was pregnant. I blinked. Now the baby's here. And, had all these wacky, weird adventures going on. And there's serious update in my own personal ET story that if it's what I think it is, that hell yeah, I got to see this shit through.
Yeah. I think we've all got different lives to lead. We're all here for a reason, right? God knows why I'm here. I have no idea. But I'm looking forward to actually meeting the woman or the man that planned my life. I'm looking for that's what I've got. That's the thing.
That's the thing. Something I've always kind of found morbid is how you hear a lot of these mediums say that everyone plans how their life is going right now. They may not remember it, but who the fuck would plan on suffering to be attacked by someone they should have trusted? That's one thing I've never truly understood.
That's something that I've thought of too. I mean, you see like women that have been raped or women that have been like locked out. And you've seen in true crime where women have been like locked away and kept as slaves. Aye.
Yeah.
And then you've got people that were murdered in horrific ways, but then you've got children that are born with like defects and stuff. And this is actually quite interesting because it was actually Stephen Fry that brought this up to it was actually, I don't know if you've seen the show, he was talking to this Baptist minister guy, And he says to him, well, why would God no do something to stop like a child getting a disease? It's like some type of parasite that burrows into their eyeball. You know what I'm talking about?
Aye.
And why would God let that happen? But here's the thing: I don't believe in a God as such. I don't believe in an old guy. It's like the conversation last night. I don't believe in an old guy sitting with a big white beard and a cloak and a cane and all that kind of stuff. I believe there's just a light source. It's a source. And we all come here for a reason. We come here to learn. And I ken how bad it sounds. Maybe you came here to live through those things. Because it does run to you do feel philosophical sometimes when you're lying in your bed at night and you're thinking, well, think about Hitler, for instance, because Hitler comes up a lot. Because everybody thinks he's in the burning pits of hell now, where it puts his name shoving a pineapple up his backside. Was it Little Nicky and all that kind of stuff? You seen the movie Little Nicky?
Yeah.
But what happens if he's reliving every single one of those Jews that was killed, or people have had stuff wrong with them? See, people, how can he relive that? Well, you've got to remember in the afterlife, there's no time. There's no really time. Time is different there. So he could die, and then he could come back as a Jewish boy, and then get gassed in a chamber. Then he could die, and then come back as a Jewish woman and get gassed in a chamber. You see where I'm going with this kind of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've met a lot of psychics that have told me that if, for instance, if I had to get run over with a bus of the Mora, I go to the afterlife, I could spend 1,000 years in the afterlife doing anything I wanted, right? But eventually you're going to get bored. Let's face it. You're going to know the universe. You're going to know what it all is, its creations and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to think to yourself, Ken, I could go back again to the earth, So I'll go back to the earth again and live out another life. Maybe it's something else. Maybe as a millionaire. Maybe as a man with no money. Maybe it's something, anything. You don't know. You come back.
The thing I'd go to ask is, who would purposely choose to suffer? But then again, just to kind of tie this into our discussion earlier, how are we going to know that what we go through isn't going to help serve as a way to help others?
Exactly.
To understand what's maybe going through their head, or be able to push you down a certain life path so you can lead into this type of stuff. I mean, let's go to sort of a less serious example. Batman.
Right.
I believe they did a time travel story where Batman had the opportunity to save his parents that night.
Yeah.
But then he realized that night his parents dying was the reason why he became Batman, and so many other people were affected and saved because of what he chose to become because of that night. So if I believe correctly, that storyline, he actually ends up having to be the one to shoot his parents, but...
But what happens if you to look at it from this standpoint? They say that the more your soul grows, becoming reincarnated, in that you ascend, right? You ascend to basically become something where you can create your own universe, right? You with me here? Mm-hmm. What happens if you need to live through all these terrible things, like getting weird infections, going blind, having no legs, in wars, and there's terrible things that's happened to you, right? So it's when you finally ascend to like a god or whatever, right? And the other god or says like that to you, right? That's you've ascended. You can now go and create your other universe, right? When you create that other universe, you know how to treat the people that you make in that universe. Do you see where I'm going with this? You've experienced all the terrible things that can possibly happen, right? So then you go forth to create your own existence. And then you create, say, like a species, for instance, they don't need to look like humans, they could look like something else. And they could live out their lives. And one day, in the billions of years, they'll ascend and create life. Maybe that's how the universe works.
Well, they say
You see
all
what I'm saying?
matter eventually rose from a singularity. Maybe that's like the brainstorming session of whatever creator being that is. Yeah, here's another thought. You know, they will say that these figures of gods and angels and some even demons, it seemed like they're beings made out of pure light, right?
Yeah.
Here, let's dig into this from a little slightly scientific perspective. The human body gives off light, right?
Yep.
Seems kind of faint. You probably looking at yourself like now. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, Dakota? We give off light. That's why we can be seen with thermal and night vision.
Yep.
It's faint, but it's there. What if these higher beings, the light we see from them is just their regular bodies? We get to the point where we ascend, as one would say. We start to see them for who they really are because we are adjusted to be able to process that much information. They say you have the light at the end of the tunnel, but you have to go through a certain journey in order to realize there's a lot more than just light on that other end.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't expect to be able to pull off that sort of philosophical argument, but hey, I'm kind of impressed with myself.
I mean, obviously, right, you've got people believing in I call them mere angelics. They're not really angels. I believe them that they're mere angelics, right? I think that these angelics that come, I don't think they're angels, right? I think there's something more. I think they're humans that have ascended. I really do think that they're humans that have ascended, right? And they're coming back to maybe just make a wee miracle here, so you believe in the angels and stuff like that, right? I do believe that. And maybe you have to live in the darkness too. Maybe you have to live in the darkness for a period of time before you go into the light. Because you've got right. You believe all these stories about demons and angels, right? And there was the war in heaven, and they were cast into hell. But what happens if it's so much more? What happens if they weren't cast into hell? What happens if you have to live as a demon and then live as an angel? Maybe when say you've lived and lived and lived, right, and you ascend, right, in heaven or whatever, and you become a lighter being, right, because you've ascended, right? The energy source or whatever it is makes you that, right? You get a choice. You can go on and make your own civilizations, but what happens if you get the choice to come back as a demon? Because you've never really lived in the darkness. But once you've lived as that darkness, you go forward. You know everything. Because think about it: if you were a god, right, you would have to know everything, wouldn't you?
Ideally.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to live as that. You know, somebody's shouting on me. Can I go for a quick sec?
Yeah, do your thing, man. I was starting to think we had some sort of activity. That makes a very good point. And honestly, when it comes to these other beings, something I've seen on multiple occasions is that whether it's angelics, angels, demons, gods, monsters, aliens, we have a habit of putting these beings on pedestals. We see them as something higher than ourselves. But if you actually get the opportunity to encounter these things, actually be able to interact with them, get to know them even, they're a lot more human than people realize. You look into the backstory of several alleged demons, their story reads like exaggerated versions of people who deal with severe mental illness on a day-to-day basis. The angels, there's some angels that like fart jokes. Look into the story of Metatron. Allegedly, he was at one point Noah's grandfather, Enoch, who eventually ascended and became this figure. Or at least that's the lore behind it.
I'm back.
Oh no.
I had to go and help with something. It's fine now.
Okay. You sure
Yeah.
that? You sure?
I'm positive.
Here.
I'm positive. I
All
just
right,
to go and help.
all right.
Somebody shouted on me and I had to go and help. So I am ready.
Here, I thought we were just about to have some activity.
Hey, what was happening like?
No, I thought you were having something happen on your end.
Oh,
supernatural wise, I was like, did this show just get more interesting so we're not having to BS our way through it?
I've just like getting beamed up by the. No, my mum shouted on me, so I had to go and get help. So that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But you see what I'm saying? Maybe you have to. What I'm saying is this: you have to maybe live in the darkness, and as same what Dot says, you have to face your own darkness in the night soul. Okay, I mean, you have to. If you think about it, if you live your entire life as a good soul, doing good things, right? At one point, if depending how many times you've been reincarnated, think about how many bad things you've done in all the different lives. I mean, you could have been MD, I could have been MD. Dodge could have been MD. MD that's watching this, drinking too much iron brew. But seriously, you have to live in the darkness before you can understand the light.
More like CBD.
Wow.
It's like you think of he's dosed up on CBD.
I'm not dosed up on CBD.
I saw you take it before the show.
I take a wee pickle, right? Because it's Christmas time. It's time to be jolly. I don't drink alcohol or anything like that.
Yeah, no, Iron Brew's not alcoholic.
But
Iron drinking Brew's too much of it, I know. It's bubblegum cream soda. I've had it myself.
It's like 98% sugar and the rest is water.
Aye.
But see what I'm saying here? You have to live in the darkness before you can live in the light.
No, as I was saying while you were gone, Chris, if you actually look at the lore behind alleged demons and angels, you see that. You see exactly that. A lot of the stories behind several alleged demonic entities, their stories read like somewhat exaggerated versions of people who live with severe mental illness today.
Mm-hmm.
And there's angels who enjoy fart jokes. You deal with ETs enough. We had this, as I was saying, we had this idea that we're putting these beings on pedestals. We're separating them from us. When in reality, if you actually had experience, they're not much different.
But here's an interesting question that I've always wondered, right? Let's take the Catholic Church, for instance. Like, yeah, you seen that new film, The Pope's Last Exorcist, Chief Exorcist, right?
Yeah,
he goes in and he does his thing and casts out the demon and stuff like that. But why, if Jesus was the true, right, and the only one, how everybody should follow him, right? Why can somebody for Islam get rid of a demon then? Or why can somebody for like maybe Buddhists get rid of a demon? Maybe it's a different name. You see where I'm going with this?
Well, if you really want to go into schematics, in Buddhism, Hinduism, and many of the older religions like voodoo, what's that other one? It'll come to me.
Sikhism.
In a lot of the older religions of the world, the term demon was not specifically for negative beings. It meant all spirits. But also at the same time, here's another thing that a lot of people don't seem to realize, and it's probably something we're going to be seeing a lot more with all this controversy about the Satanic Temple doing after-school programs.
Yep.
Satanists have their own exorcisms.
Yeah.
If they're on the side of demons, why would they have that? One. Two, and when it comes to Yeshua, or figure we know as Jesus, figure we know as Christ, even he said, and not directly, but anybody can do what he could. Anybody.
But what happens if, right, I'm going to go down the rabbit hole here, right? I'm going to take you somewhere. What happens if demons, right? Probably going to get executed for this. But what happens if demons and angels are just tools to teach humanity the way? Think about that. What happens if, right, we all fear demons and what they can do and the terrible things and all that. We all think the angelics all come and they're all nice and all that kind of stuff. But what happens if they're just like a cog in the system? They're just a cog in the giant field of life, right? They are here for one purpose and one person. For all you know, the demons could be standing next to the angels and they're having a conversation, right? Thinking, right, all right, here's somebody coming, but I'm going to go and possess them. Then you'll come and you'll help them, and I'll come out and so such and such, right? But they'll learn something through this. Their soul will learn something through this. You see where I'm going with this? What happens if they're just here as a tool to help us? You never thought about that? No?
You wouldn't be too far off.
Yeah,
you're going from the perspective of the outsider looking in. I'm the one that saw the man behind the curtain and started going, "What does this button do? What does this button do?"
Exactly. What happens if we're here? Whoever made the universe probably will never know, right? Because time, where they come from, time doesn't exist, right? Because if time exists where they come from, somebody must have made them. Because where they've came from, time doesn't exist. Think about it. Because time, you think about it, time. It's interesting. This is getting really philosophical. This is starting to burn my brain cells out. I'm done puffing my stuff in a minute. But anyway,
you need some more CBD in your
I need some more CBD. But it's like, do you know think like, if you were God, right? Think about this. If you were God, could you live in a universe with time?
Yes.
How?
Because the example I've used several times on this show, time is not a steady thing for all worlds. It's fluid. It's influenced by everything it moves around and moves through. There is no such thing as a true now.
Yeah.
It's exactly all now.
It's like, you ever seen, would you call it, you ever watched the film Watchmen?
Aye.
I've been watching the new episode. I don't know if you've seen the new episode, and it's got Dr. Manhattan in it. And it's quite interesting how he perceives time. So he could be in 1950, he could be sitting having a coffee with his pal, but at the same time, in the year 2020, he could be having a game of football. That's how he perceives time.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever runs this universe, because there could be universes out there with no time, where the law of physics don't work. There could be, let's look at it in a sense, right? How many universes do you think there is? I'm not talking about galaxies, guys. There's billions of galaxies. I'm talking about universes.
At least 9 that interacts with our world directly. 9 separate physical.
9 different universes, right? So in each universe, there could be what? 50 billion galaxies? More? Each galaxy has what? 100 million stars? More? You see, this is what folk don't get. I've met folk that don't. They think that there's flat and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to do that road today, but you think about it, right? You think about how vast space is, right? You think about, right, we're on a world now, right? Spinning around the sun, flying through the solar system, right? In a galaxy with billions and billions of other worlds out there, right? Suns out there, right? Then that galaxy is just one among billions of other galaxies in the universe, right? And then that universe is just one, an infinite number of universes. What happens if, right, here's an interesting thing. What happens if, like, no a human, doesn't matter what you could be an extraterrestrial or whatever, the soul. Let's take the soul, for instance. What happens if when that soul ascends, you turn into a universe?
Who's to say you're not creating one as
Exactly. What happens if when you ascend, you create your own universe, and then you're in charge of that universe as the creator of that universe? And maybe somewhere out there, all the other creators of all the universes are maybe sitting at a table now. You don't know.
You have to also take into consideration the structures of the human body look awfully similar to the structures of the known universe.
Yeah.
Neurological pathways, even cells at a microscopic level, that are resemblances.
So you could say that, for instance, you are a universe. And people will be like, aye, but a human will live for 100 years. How will that work? And it says, aye, but think about it. Maybe 100 years to that universe is trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of years. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Quad trillions of years, right? But to you, it's only 100 years.
You really want to put it into perspective when it comes to pop culture. One of the most scientifically accurate films, Interstellar. Like how they go to that one planet where an hour on that planet is 7 years on Earth. It's like I said, there's no such thing as a true now. There could be events happening, say, at one side of the galaxy to the other at the exact same time.
Yeah.
On one side of the galaxy, say someone here on Earth, that event transpires over the space of an hour. On the other side of the galaxy, because of how that planet's physics work, that event is transpiring. That hour-long event here on Earth could be transpiring over 100 years. And here, let's take a poke at Christianity. They're already going to get pissy. The whole concept that God created the Earth in 7 days. It may have been 7 days for him.
But here's something I want to say. This is what I don't get about that. If God created the Earth first in 7 days, right? How was it a day considering the sun wasn't created yet? Daylight. Think about it.
So, it also does insinuate that he just said the world was created.
Yeah.
But also kind of insinuates when you really look at it, kind of insinuates something else was already there.
Yeah. I think there was something else already. Look, you've got to remember, go back to when the Bible was written. What technology did they have? No much. Let's put it that way, right? Or a catapult or something like that, right? Our understanding of the universe is we're still extremely young race. I mean, we're not even a type 1 civilization yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the
by our own
civilization
standards.
I mean, we're no a type 1 civilization. What is a type 1 civilization again? It's actually got it can build like Dyson spheres and stuff like that. A type 1 civilization.
Think that far yet.
I mean, there's races out there that are type 6 civilizations. Can you imagine how advanced they are? Where they can make planets. Dakota's looking up, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm trying to make sure we get this right.
We're not a type 1 civilization yet, again, we're not.
No. The Kardashev scale. I probably butchered that. So if we have any of the Kremlin still watching us, that because they don't like how Chris
Das Vidanya. Das Vidanya.
Yeah, type 1 designation is given to a species that is able to harness all the energy that is available from a neighboring star, gathering and storing it to meet the energy demands of a global civilization.
Yes.
And according to the estimates that we have here, we would have to increase our outputs by 100,000 times in order to come close.
Yeah. We are
Originally,
children.
it was only 3. The scale only had 3 types, but it's since been expanded to 6.
Yeah. Look, there's alien races out there that are probably sitting back. Right? Let's take the Galactic Federation. What type would you say they are? What type? Because they're a mixture of races. Which stage would they? Would you say second stage, type 2?
Almost. Some members would almost be type 6.
That's what I was going to say. I bet you there's races out there right now watching type 4, type 5 civilizations, thinking they're quite young, and just watching them. Because I bet you there's. I bet we're getting watched right now.
Oh,
because they can do that.
We're getting watched because
Why?
certain people are just enough of a magnet to weird shit to where they can break through the veil.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what way the human race is going to go. I mean, if it exists in the future, hopefully everything works all right with the Federation and stuff like that and the fixed stuff and that. But if it doesn't, is this the last time?
It will be the last time across the point. Something that was going to try to insert in last night's conversation. As far as the global cataclysms, the Hyperborea or Tartaria, as you keep calling it,
mm-hmm.
the one responsible for that cataclysm is dealt with. He's gone.
Aye, that was Inky, wasn't it? That was
no. Enki's the good guy.
Is he a good guy?
Enki's the good guy.
I thought they took the gold. That's what they were. The one
Enki was the one who messed around with our genetics, made modern humans the way they are. But he actually gave a shit. It was his brother Enlil that wanted the slaves. Enki wanted to push us somewhere more.
Right. So what is the deal with Planet X then? Is it going to come into our solar system? Are we going to see it?
First off, Nibiru is not a ship. Nibiru is not a planet. It's a ship. Any reference to an actual planet, if you actually look at the translations, Nibiru is Jupiter. If you look at direct translations.
Is that not a failed sun? It's a failed sun, Jupiter, isn't it?
It was speculated, but a lot of that's highly debated. But the translation, the physical name for Jupiter was Nibiru. And that's where the actual Nibiru ship, a ship that is so large, it looks like a small planet, is parked. They're back. They've been back for a while. And those med beds are slowly getting rolled out to the public too.
So what happened? See the cataclysm that happened, say 12,000 years ago. What caused it?
And Lil basically dropped a meteor, dropped an asteroid.
I just need to nudge one, wouldn't you? You just need to nudge one in the right direction.
You have to realize Enlil was a war general. He wanted war. He wanted conflict. He wanted power. And he knew how to manipulate people who were weak in the mind to come to his side. And we dealt with one of his agents before. And you saw how bad that got.
So, obviously, disclosures slowly happen for people because people ask me all the time, and I keep telling them just to watch your videos and stuff like that. And you reckon 6 months, and then a lot of stuff will start coming out because there's a lot of folk out there saying, "Oh, Planet X is coming," but obviously it's not a planet; it's a spaceship. It's a big one. So, do you think we'll see that? Do you think we'll see?
Chris, they're already saying it.
They're already saying
it. They're already saying it that they've been in contact with ET Worlds. There's some sources that are saying that the deadline's been given to 2027. There's some that are saying that's going to be next year. They're already putting it out. What would happen if an alien invasion would start? Where would your best chances be of survival?
See, that's what I don't
happening.
believe. See, that's what I don't believe. I don't think the aliens would invade us. I think it would be a Project Bluebeam. I think it'd be the Aryan government's bombing the fuck out of us to make us hate them. Because let's face it, they could easily wipe us out like that.
I mean, have you seen the video of the floating wells in Saudi Arabia?
The floating wells?
The floating wells.
Never seen that.
Where it looks like it's whales swimming through the air?
I've never seen that, but I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. That is the type of projection technology that Bluebeam was based on. It's a weaker model, but yes, the plans for Bluebeam were still there, and yes, the deep state is still trying to fight because they don't want to give up. But nevertheless, it's not going to be a full-on invasion, but they're coming.
See, I find this interesting. It's something we should really get a guy on the show or a woman on the show to talk about this. What's your thoughts on the chemtrailing? Because let's face it, I sat the other day there, and it was a beautiful sunny day in Scotland, right? It was, say that, but the sun was out, right? And I counted maybe 50, 60 different jets, and they were all going cross each other. Come on. And if people say that's the exhaust pipes, no, it's not. There's something going on there. And they've come out and said that they're doing it. They have come out and said that they're doing it.
They've come out and said they're doing it, but there's still so much celebrity drama they can tap into that I don't think necessarily is staged all the time, but they take advantage of the fact that there's still plenty of drama going around and still a lot of idiots who want to stir up shit.
See, I was thinking about this chemtrail and stuff. Do you think it's maybe something to do with Project Bluebeam? Do you think it's maybe like chemicals they're putting in the air so they can like project?
Would it help? It would certainly help, yeah.
It's a retired admiral confirmed ET contact. Oh, I know aliens exist. I know they're there and they're annoying sometimes, but
they've even come out and said there's motherships already around the planet.
Do you think that's maybe why they're spraying all the time? Because if you notice, they only spray at certain times of the day, as if maybe to try and cloak.
No, the ships are already cloaked themselves. To where even if remote viewers who don't have someone on the inside to help them try to look at it, all they would see is this blinding light blob thing.
Mm-hmm. God knows what 2024 has enrolled for us.
But in the end, no matter how crazy life seems to get, no matter how much chaos may be coming around, no matter how miserable you may feel in your life, you got to be able to stick around and see it. There may be an afterlife, but let's face it, there's plenty of spirits that would love to see what's going on.
Think about it this: if you've done something terrible, the new end of your life, and then 2-3 years down the line, alien races came to the world, you would miss that. Try and live your life out as long as possible, right? And try and wake others. If you're wanting something today, help others that are like you, that are lost like you. Go to groups and that, because there is groups out there, kind of like the suicide awareness groups and stuff like that.
There's support groups for holiday depression.
Yeah, because let's face it, we got it now, especially with the price of everything that's skyrocketing.
Price everything going on. The fact that it's usually around this time of year that more people tend to lose their life.
It's actually interesting you say that, because one of my friends is a police officer, and I was talking to him about it, and he would say this is really, really busy at this time of year. And he was telling about how he gets called to the police station, the hospital, quite a lot for people that have tried to commit suicide. You think about it, if you've not got any money and you're trying to feed your family, it must be terrible.
Especially where everything's trying to be jacked up, and the only reason we're, at least here in the States, we're seeing some things start going down is because of an election year coming up.
Oh God, yeah. That'll be interesting. What's your predictions for that?
Oh,
Do you think old Trubby Hunty, or do you think he'll get back in?
I'm really hoping the rumor about RFK getting in goes through.
Can I honestly say this, that I think he would make a brilliant president? I really do, but I don't think they'll allow it to happen, because I think he knows more about President Kennedy's death than he's letting on.
If anybody's gonna know, it's him.
Yeah.
Did you see that he actually has like a little contest going to where you can get to meet him?
Really?
Aye.
There you go.
I
You
was
should
like-
try and meet him.
Yeah, I would love to. That would be awesome.
I think we need somebody that's going to try and stop the world falling apart. I mean, I kind of say this with Trump, right? I kind of he's a raving lunatic. Right? I wouldn't say he was a raving lunatic, but let's face it. He sorted it out with North Korea and stuff like that. North Korea, he was the first US leader.
Yeah, Korea had a ceasefire to where they were starting to work things out. There were sex traffickers being caught that suddenly, as Biden took office, stopped.
Yeah.
Wonder why that is. Even Tim Ballard, he pointed out that shortly after he made a speech calling out the president for allowing these children to be taken by these sex traffickers, all of a sudden there's rumors going about that he has been harassing women, even though no women have ever come forward to say, yes, he's a dick.
I'm going to give a prediction for 2024, right? And this is my prediction. What's that before I go? It would be a great country around the world to stop fighting together and fix the world problems. Exactly.
That's going to be the only way.
But here's my prediction for this year. I bet they pull something to stop the election.
Allegedly.
I'm going to say this now. If Trump becomes president, which I've got a feeling he's not going to be president, I've got a feeling that he's going to be maybe leader of the House or something like that. I kind of sound mad. I believe that he's going to have a pact with that Mr. Kennedy. I honestly do think he's got a pact with him. Vice versa. I don't know how they're going to run it. But either one of them gets in. When they do get in, they are going to drain the swamp. They're going to go after all of them. Joe Biden, everybody. But here's the thing. This is my prediction. I bet you Joe Biden's government do something.
They're going to try to.
They do something, because here's an interesting fact. Why is Mark Zuckerberg and all these billionaires and millionaires building these fallout bunkers? And I mean, they're not spending like 10 million or 20 million. They're spending like $200 million on these sophisticated bunkers in the Bahamas and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know something. They know something's about to happen.
It's just like with Lahaina. Why did all the elites who have property there have a certain color of paint on their roofs?
Yeah.
Yet their property was safe. Even, and like I said, yes, fire can skip.
Of course it can.
Embers can get caught in the wind and burn something else up. It does happen. But even a lot of fire experts are saying that's a little too coordinated to ride off as that.
Yeah. I think, and I'm going to say this today, that island will get revenge on the people that did that. I ken people like that, what you're talking about. Hawaii is a very spiritual island. We know that. And a lot of medium's friends of mine that have said that it's going to get revenge for what happened to it.
You have to consider the story of King Kamehameha.
Mm-hmm.
When you really think about it, I actually just happened to see a little something about this before coming on. The man who was known as one of the most brutal leaders prophesied to bring an end to several military chiefs, brought together the Hawaiian Islands to practically what they are today.
Mm-hmm.
Those islands the people are very spiritual. You fuck around with some of their ancient sites, weird shit starts happening practically instantly. You have something like that kind of carnage, those spirits ain't gonna lay silent.
Of course, there's tales. There's like folklore that the island would be burned and stuff at one stage in its life, and it has been, and it makes you wonder. I mean, you could name the celebrities that are involved in this, but I think they'll get their comeuppance. I really do. But my prediction for 2024 is America, or whoever the allies are, will pull something off. They'll do something. I don't know if it'll be an alien invasion or nuclear war, but they'll do something. Or another pandemic.
They're already trying to douse the airways with the idea of another pandemic coming about. What are you talking about?
No fall.
Mpox, white lung syndrome, or whatever they're calling it. I find it funny that they're saying this white lung syndrome. It's not much more serious than childhood RSV. As long as people get the fucking treatment, the kid will probably be okay. But
that's one thing I'm glad is no getting the jibby jab.
Right.
Because the amount of people I can run about me that's died or really unwell with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible. Do you care what they've actually done in the UK? I don't know what you care about this or no, but they're actually lifting the Human Rights Act in the UK.
Really?
Aye, the thing with it. So it's basically they can do what they want. I think they're getting ready for something. It's like your borders have all been opened up, and all these young Chinese guys have all come flooding across your border. Where in the UK, it's all these young refugees that have come across our border. I think they're going to do something. I really do think they're going to do something. Mass panic, I don't know. And they keep going on, and what I find interesting, they keep going on about saying how the internet could be out for 10 days.
Yeah, there's solar activity going on that's been a bit concerning.
I've no got Netflix, I've only got Amazon. But I was thinking about getting Netflix. Have you seen that new series? Is it When the World Ends?
I don't think it's a series, I think it's a movie. But
is it a movie? Well, I thought it was a series. But seemingly that's where all the internet goes down and everything goes to shit. And they were saying that all the driverless cars will deliberately drive themselves to the roads. And then,
if they don't have, if those cars don't have signal to tell them where to go, it's going to be ugly. But if they don't have some sort of procedures to prevent that, but you do realize who two of the main producers behind that film are,
Barack
right?
And his wife.
Yeah, the Obamas.
Yeah,
and I hear they got I don't think they've released it yet, but they got one about the Betty and Barney Hill abduction too.
I'm going to say
this. To come out.
Last year, there was train crashes in America. But a year before that, there was a series on Netflix about trains that crashed carrying chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
And where the trains crashed the year after that was in the same place where the bloody series was filmed.
Yeah.
Look, the elites like to tell before they do something. And this is why I think Mr. Zaki Burger, whatever his bloody name is, and the rest of them are all building bunkers. Because they know it's about to go down.
Building bunkers, not balding bunkers.
No.
Mr.
Zuckerberg, if you're watching, you can give me $1 billion. Don't you worry. I'll make sure Dakota gets some. But honestly, look, hopefully this year will be the year that Disclosure fully comes out. Hopefully. But there you go.
You know, they keep delaying. You're going to lose the faith of even some of the most devoted.
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all a fantastic Christmas and a happy new year. And we will see you in the year 2059. That's a joke. 2024, folk will be like, 59? What's going on about now? Nah, it was only a joke. But
it's like, no, we both got ourselves some DeLoreans and we're going to go play around. If you don't see us, you know what happened.
Yeah. So if you see Abraham Lincoln changing into him, you know but we'll be back in time. Have a great Christmas, everybody, and have a fantastic 2024.
Be safe this holidays. For those of you who are subscribed to the Bald and Bonkers memberships, you're going to have some brand new videos coming out to help you with, business and setting up your own podcasts and membership platforms for courses. We're going to start offering up some brand new stuff, and maybe we'll we'll get a deal going to where we can start publishing some movies for y'all.
Yeah.
We'll see what the new year brings.
And have a fantastic Christmas and New Year. And Papa Joey, Lawrence, Dots, XFL, everybody in the chat, Stephanie, everybody there, have a fantastic Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Happy Merry, whatever the fuck you celebrate. Exactly. And we better see you here next year.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you see Bald and Bonkers for even more insanity. Be sure to spread the love to the Bald and Bonkers boys' other endeavors. And a special thank you to our audience, guests, and everyone else who helps make this crazy ride happen. Amazing things are ahead. Learn more by visiting www.baldandbonkers.net. See you next time. Much love and take care.